Hey there, welcome to day 75 of our annual challenge, our BU 365-day challenge to do one thing every day that improves us in some way, shape, or form. This segment, this month of the month of March, we are focusing on our mental well-being. And as you know, if you've been following along or if you're just joining us today, we're talking about the SOAP framework. We are taking some aspect of our mental well-being and we are running it through the bar of soap, our SOAP framework, to clean it up and guarantee that we have better results after we've experienced a change or challenge than before we have, because we're taking this little SOAP framework and over the course of this year, and it doesn't take a year, can take just one time through it, to make it a process that we install in our subconscious, and we make sure that every time we face a change or a challenge or a decision, it goes through this process, the SOAP process. S, of course, was our story, our situation. What's our current story? What's our current situation? What's our desired story and our desired situation? That creates a gap, and the rest of the SOAP framework is about filling in that gap. Yesterday we brainstormed, because brainstorming is the quickest, easiest way to come up with alternatives to start to fill that gap. And we came up with at least 10. We did the 10 and 3 tool, 10 different possible options, as far-fetched as you want, and then we selected 3 of those. Now we're going to take those 3 today as we go on to the A in our SOAP framework, which stands for action. Actually, it stands for analysis and action, because we can't take action until we decide what we're going to take action on. So the tool we're going to use today to analyze our alternatives. Analyzing alternatives is simply finding a way or a framework or a tool to look at the different alternatives. And a lot of times the options we have available to us aren't directly comparable. They're not apples to apples. So we have to find another way to analyze them and make them more equal to help us make a decision. Now, sometimes we just know in our gut exactly what we're going to do. Hey, we have an idea. One of the things on our list of 10 to 3 becomes an automatic, I can do this without even having to think about it. And so we just immediately take action on that. But other times, the alternatives aren't exactly as clear, and we want to have tools to help us decide. So one of my favorite tools is a tool I call Head, Heart, and Intuition. I hope you can see this. It's just a little grid, and on the left-hand column, I put my alternatives, 1, 2, and 3, A, B, C, the 3 that I selected out of my 10, or how many ever you brainstorm. And the 3 I selected, let me grab my magnifying glass, were get a coach with respect to dealing with I'm not good enough belief, take a course on probably self-esteem, self-confidence, getting rid of limiting beliefs, or 3, or C we'll call it, find some letting go strategies, find some strategies that I can practically use and apply so that whenever the I'm not good enough comes up, I automatically have things that I can do to deal with it. Now those are just the 3 I picked. I had a whole lot more. I had, go to an event that deals with thinking and brain and beliefs and things, balance the scales, challenge false beliefs, flip switch, replace negative with a positive, meditate, hypnosis, affirmations, all those things. But for the purpose of using this tool, I picked these 3. So what do we do to use this Head, Heart, Intuition tool? And you can just do it on a scrap of paper. This is basically a scrap of cardboard that has become my visual aids for the Get Up and Go challenge, actually. So Head, Heart, Intuition. So then I just write down each of the 3. A is course, B is letting go strategies, and C is get a coach. And I say, okay, in my head, intellectually, mentally, what do I think about this particular option? And I just rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being I feel most attracted to it. I feel like it's going to make the most progress toward what I want. 1 being, yeah, I don't feel it at all. I don't really want to even do that. Or there's other reasons my thinking is saying no to it. And then we do the same thing with our heart, and we say, okay, what does my heart say about this? How do I feel? I guess we're tapping into our feelings. And then finally, my intuition. Now, I didn't used to add my intuition when I was making decisions and choices. I would just mostly go with my head. And I found that I made non-perfect decisions back then, because, and some of the biggest mistakes I've ever made are in my life, literally, are those that I ignored my intuition. Everything looked good on paper, everything looked perfect. My ex-husband seemed excellent, and he, checked off most of the positive boxes, and lo and behold, was not the right person for me. Done the same thing with business partners when I didn't listen to my intuition. Things seemed okay. It seemed like a good idea at the time, but something was niggling at me and saying, oh, I don't know what it is, but this is not a good idea. This is off. And every time I've ignored my intuition in the past, it has come back to bite me in the nether regions. So we just give it a numerical value. So for course, I put, okay, my head says 4. Courses are easy to take. They only take the amount of time that you devote to taking the course. So if it's a 10-hour course, it's a 10-hour course. My heart says meh. My head and my heart both say kind of meh on this. And my intuition says, nah, I don't think a course is going to do it for me. With respect to letting go tools, I feel pretty good about that. My head says there's tons of strategies and tons of tools that I can use and try till I find the one that works just right for me, and I can use that not only on the not good enough belief, but I can use it on any other negative belief or limiting belief that I discover in the future. So I feel pretty good about that one. That one got a 6 for head, a 7 for heart, and a 7 for intuition, for a total of 20. Then I total them up and I say first, second, and third, what's my order of doing these? And then finally, getting a coach. I feel good about coaches. I'm pretty, I've had lots of coaches in my life. My head, my intellectually, I know that if I get a coach, I can make transformation and progress really, really fast. My heart says I'm pretty into that. I like to coach people. I like to be coached. And then my intuition is about average on that. It depends on the coach, right? I've had awesome coaches, and I've had coaches that were not so awesome. It's kind of like bosses, right? We've all had good bosses and bad bosses. And again, it's always good for us. They might be fine bosses for other people, but they didn't mesh with our style and what we needed at the time. So then I just tally them up. So 11, 20, and 16. So the one I'm going to pick and choose is the letting go strategy. So tonight, or today sometime in my schedule, I will find time to research and find some letting go strategies, and then I'm going to take action on that. I'm going to try at least one of them tonight right away and see what kind of an impact it has on me. So our action item today, try this on for size. Take your 3 options from yesterday and just run it through this model. There is no right or wrong way. It's just another tool, another framework for looking at something and helping you to choose when it's hard to decide or hard to choose. Like I said, I would say 90% of the time when I'm faced with what action do I need to take or alternatives and analyzing alternatives, I just will know in my heart and in my head and in my intuition what's the right thing to take action on, and I just do the first step, the next step toward doing that thing. If I were going to, if coach had won or course had won, the next step for me would have been to find the right course, find the right coach, research and find it. I'm not just going to jump onto the first course or coach that I find. I'm going to find the right one for me. So again, that involves our head, our heart, and our intuition. So today, run your 3 through this exercise and then just share in the comments below the one action you're going to take today, or the next step you're going to take today. Again, mine is going to be to research tonight, finding a letting go strategy and actually trying one on and seeing if I can make a bigger dent in the not good enough, don't deserve type false belief. All right, any questions, hit me up. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow and we will talk about the P with respect to our mental well-being. Have an awesome day.